So then it becomes more a question about orientation, maybe. Are you long-term focused or short-term focused? Do you want to have instant gratification, satisfaction, happiness now, or what do you really want? What's extra, as you say, what's your hierarchy? What's your priority? And I mean, the culture I think we live in today is more focused on performing than creating. And that comes with a huge number of different definitions of what it means to be a good person in this performing culture versus if we had a creating.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means. But it seems like like the whole school, the whole school system is based on just performing grades instead of learning, right?
That's true, yeah, because what gets rewarded is how well you perform, not how much you learn.
Yeah.
But, you know, in another way of thinking about this is that there's a tradition in the arts in which the artist sets up to create something, and that there is a process by which he or she goes about creating it. And you can take exactly the same process and create your life that way.
Yeah.
And so then your life then becomes the subject matter of the creative process. And the creative process is the most successful process for accomplishment in history. I mean, you think about it, it's created all of the arts, technology, science, but we don't learn it in school, and we don't generally learn it, except for artists who learn it and usually only apply it to their art and not to their own life.
Yeah.
But when you take that process and you begin to apply it to your life, or you begin to apply it to an organization or a business, or also in terms of world development and so on, well, then you're now able to use the most successful process for accomplishment toward building your life or building a society or building a business. And that just becomes the best thing there is. What could be better?
Yeah. So you read in the newspapers that people are talking about maybe the existing system is kind of flawed and we need something else. Maybe it's the performance focus that we need to leave for the creating focus instead.
I would support that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be great if, you know, so we did this, for 30 years, we've been working with an organization in Uganda that has adopted the creative process. So instead of doing problem solving, which is mostly world development, they're actually using the creative process and have been for the last 30 years. And they have created the most amazing things. And they have a girls' school, and they teach the girls the creative process, and they bring their families in, and they create a 5-year plan for the girl and their families. And in 5 years, they will have created all of the things that they have on their list of things that they want to create.
Yeah.
And what has happened is, because that has become so successful in Uganda, a lot of the principles of that creative process have found their way into the social order in Uganda. That doesn't mean it's perfect and so on, but it's amazing how, when they do that, how well it works, and works better than anything they have done before. And so if your question is, does it make sense for society to organize itself around the creative process rather than problem solving, rather than politics, rather than power distribution, and so on? The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Of course, because then it becomes a collective creative process that we don't always have to agree, but we can be aligned around building the possibility of our society. You know, so you're in Sweden. Where are you, by the way, in Sweden?
I'm in Stockholm.
Okay. And, you know, I just love Sweden. You know, we have a lot of friends in Sweden, and I've made a film in Sweden, and yeah, just really love Sweden. And there's so many great things in Sweden in particular that is a good example of what I'm describing. In terms of just joining together industry, government, education, joining together to really produce really good things in society, environmentally, in terms of invention, innovation. And I think in many ways in Sweden, there's some good examples of the kind of things that I'm talking about.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. But still, I think the aspiration, so to say, of what can be achieved implementing the thinking behind the essence of your book, there is still a long way to go. Do we need a change in orientation and rethink our culture? What would it mean to have a more creation-based culture than a performance-based culture? Here at Medical Running, we practice consciousness. Conscious breathing, conscious movement, and conscious communication.